If the government passes an investment incentive, more people will need to borrow money in order to finance their investments. Therefore, the demand curve will increase and shift to the right. The resulting equilibrium will have higher interest rates and a greater quantity of loanable funds. Policy 3 is a government budget deficit. When the government collects less in tax revenue than they spend on their purchases, they run a budget deficit. The government funds budget deficits by borrowing cash in the bond market. Deficits occur over a one-year period of time. Accumulation of past government borrowing is called debt. Let's assume that the budget starts off balanced. Then, due to a tax cut or increased spending, the government starts running a budget deficit. Savings for the nation is divided into two parts, private savings and public savings. Private savings is done by households, public savings is done by the government. A budget deficit represents a change in public savings. Therefore, this policy will impact the supply curve. Deficits reduce savings, shifting the supply curve to the left is a decrease. The result is higher interest rates and a smaller quantity of loanable funds available. Let's look at this on a diagram. Quantity of loanable funds on the horizontal, interest rates on the vertical. Supply curve representing savers is upward sloping. The demand curve representing borrowers is downward sloping. Equilibrium occurs at the one unique spot at which the supply and demand curves intersect, giving us our equilibrium interest rate I star and the equilibrium quantity of loanable funds L star. If the government runs a budget deficit, the supply curve will decrease and shift to the left. The resulting equilibrium is higher interest rates and a smaller quantity of loanable funds available. If interest rates are rising, it will be more expensive to finance investment. The fall of investment due to government borrowing is called crowding out. The government crowds out private borrowers who are trying to finance investment. Since investment is important for economic growth, deficits reduce the economy's growth rate, which can be very problematic if it occurs for years upon years. Budget surpluses work the exact opposite. Budget surpluses when tax revenues are greater than government spending. A budget surplus will cause interest rates to fall, increasing the quantity of loanable funds available. Investments will become cheaper to finance, and the economy's growth rate will increase. This is the end of the Chapter 8 lecture on savings investment in the financial system. If you have any questions about the key concepts from this chapter, please send me an email or post a question in the Ask Professor Pakula discussion board.